All right, this is going to be a quick video on how to set up lead scoring inside of GoHighLevel. All right, so the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go down to settings, and then they have something called manage scoring down here. Inside of manage scoring, you need to make sure the engagement score is published. So these automations inside of here should already be enabled by default, but it's just not doing anything until you turn on this engagement score publish right here. So I'm gonna hit this button right here and make sure it's published. All right, so once that's good to go, then you can begin the automation process for getting lead scoring and everything set up in GoHighLevel. So how this is gonna work is we're gonna have 3 different segments inside of GoHighLevel. We're gonna have a cold segment, a warm segment, and a hot segment. All right, and to set this up, we're gonna have to go to automation. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna go down to automations. And in order to make sure all these workflows are together, I'm going to let me move this out of the way real quick. I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to call it a lead segmentation, just so I can keep them all organized and together. All right, so I'm going inside of that folder. The first one I'm going to create is the cold segment. And then once we create the cold one, we can go ahead and replicate that for warm and hot, just change the scoring and everything. All right, so I'm going to create workflow from scratch because it's not anything like the others. And I'm just going to call this a cold segment. And then the trigger for this is going to be an engagement score. So I'm going to type in, oh, it's already right here, but just in case it's not the first option when you come in, you can do contact engagement score. And that's going to be the trigger. And we're going to add a filter on this. And then we're going to say score is between 0 and 9, because we want the medium to be 10 through 19. All right, so that's going to get every lead that's in the cold segment. And then, so the way I GoHighLevel does it though is it's not going to automatically send all your contacts through this automation. They have to do something that triggers a change in the score to have this automation trigger on them. All right, so this is going to be our cold segment. And I'm actually going to change this instead of 0 through 9, I'm going to change it to less than 9, just in case it's a scenario when a lead goes below 0 or something like that. We try to like mitigate that, but just to make sure it's more accurate right here. All right, so score is less than 9. All right, and then what I like to do here is I like to create like a dashboard essentially. So I'm gonna go to opportunities and I'm gonna create a new pipeline. And let's call this lead segmentation. All right, so we're gonna do a cold segment and then a hot segment, just so we get like a visual representation of the leads that's in the pipeline. All right, so we got cold, warm, and hot. So I'm gonna create that, and then I'm gonna go back to the automation. I should have did that beforehand, but it's okay. All right, so lead segmentation, cold segment. All right, so now we still have the contact engagement score is less than 9. All right, so now we want to opportunity. We want to create or update an opportunity. All right, so we want to do in pipeline lead segmentation, the one that we just did in pipeline stage cold, and opportunity name. You can name this like the company name, depending on like whatever best for your business. Also contact that company name, and then sometimes I like to do contact that full name after that. That way in the pipeline, it's going to show the company name and then the contact name after that. And the opportunity source, you can leave this blank. Opportunity value, whatever you usually have in your CRM, you can do that. And then we're going to change the status to open. All right. And then we're going to allow the opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. This is important because due to the nature of this dynamic system, leads are going to be going back and forth from warm to hot to cold. And we want to make sure that it allows a warm lead, if they're not engaged enough, to go back down to cold. All right. So allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. All right. And then now what we want to do is add a tag. So contact tag, and I like to just call it a cold segment. All right, so we got a cold segment right here. and then we call it, actually, let's not do that right now. And then this one is going to be, we're going to remove a tag as well. So we're going to create an opportunity just so we get like the visual in the dashboard. We're going to add a tag that they're in the cold segment, and then we're going to remove the tags that they're in the warm and the hot. So remove contact tag. We're going to remove warm segment. If you don't already have this in there, you can just add the new tag right here, warm segment, and then hot segment. Add that tag. So this is going to ensure that all the leads that hit a certain segment are going to be tagged cold, warm, or hot. All right. So now that that's good, we'll publish this. And one thing you can do as well, if you have like you can segment meta campaigns based off of this as well. So if I want to do like a meta conversion API or add a Google ads, if you have like different segments in there, you can match your segments with these specific triggers right here. So meta conversion API. I don't have anything connected to this one, but essentially you'll be able to like pick a campaign in here and then make sure this cold segment is lined up with that. All right, so I'm gonna hit save for this for now. Go back. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just duplicate this workflow. So I'm gonna duplicate workflow, and then I'm gonna call this warm segment. All right, so warm segment, I'm gonna go inside of there. All right, this is important right here. So I'm gonna change the contact engagement score. So this one is gonna be score between 10 and 19. And then what's important here, so when we create or update the opportunity, we need to do the same pipeline, but we need to change it to the warm segment. And we hit save, add tag. We're gonna change this to warm. Save that. We're gonna remove the tag, warm here, and then change that to cold. You can see where I'm going with this. Now, when we recreate this for the hot segment, we can do that same exact automation. I'm gonna hit publish, save. I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna go to hot segment now. Actually, so let me duplicate this one and change this to hot segment. Open that up. Same thing here, contact engagement score. This time we want to go greater than 19, just so we get 20 and above for our hot segment. Save that. Create or update opportunity, lead segmentation, change this to hot. We're gonna add a tag, change this to hot. And we're gonna remove a tag, remove hot from here, and then add warm. All right. So for the hot segment, this one is pretty important here. You can add different like triggers or different notifications inside of the system, but this is when I really key in on like making sure we get notifications as soon as a lead hit this pipeline right here. So what we want to do is we want to send a internal notification. You want to email, and then we just from name is going to be notification system, and then we can say notifications at company.com. All right. To user type, you can do a custom email. I'm gonna say myself at company.com. This is gonna be the email this is gonna be the email address that this notification gets sent to. So this will be your email address if you're the one who's gonna be building the system and running it, or it could be like an SDR or anything like that. All right. And then I'm gonna say lead just entered hot. And then what we can do is just add like information about that specific contact. You can say lead name, contact.full name, contact. Okay, that didn't work. Contact.full name. We can do email. This can be contact.email. We can do company name, contact.company name. We just entered the hot segment. All right. and I'm gonna save that action. All right, and then I'm gonna publish this. All right, so what the system did was now anytime a user interacts with anything that you have inside of GoHighLevel, based off those engagement scores that I showed at the beginning, but you can change those. I'll probably do that in like another video, like different ways that you can implement that specific part of the system. But in a nutshell, this is how you create a pipeline to show you leads visualized through a cold, hot, or a warm segment. All right, thanks.